All right. Guess what I did again? I hit the go live button, but I guess I didn't hit it just right. So I have been talking to myself now for the last 8 minutes. Oh my gosh. I am such an idiot, folks. I apologize. Wow. Oh my gosh. All right. You know, when I was working in construction, I dealt a lot with the IT guys, and one of the things that they frequently documented in their logs was what was called an ID10T error, and I just had an ID10T error. And if you want to know what that is, I'll type it. And there you go. That's what it is. Wardrobe malfunction. All right. Okay. So let's back up. So that's an ID10T error. Let's see. My apologies. Again, I know I hit go live. I did it intentionally. I don't know what the heck. I gotta check the settings on my software. That should, it used to go live as soon as I started streaming, but I guess not. The stupid shall be punished. All right, sorry folks, let's get started. So Sam Propane says, in case I forget to ask, looks like a storage place going in off Marsh Bend Trail by the rental duplexes. Yeah, that's Magnolia Eden or something like that. Yeah, blonde moment. Yeah, that's me. Yes, user error, ID10T, idiot. That's me. All right. Sorry, I'm flustered at this moment. So welcome everyone. Of course, this is Gold Wingnut Live. Sometimes not so live. Thank you for taking time out of your day. Our sponsor today is Kitchen Wise, Closet Wise. Great company. A host of other sponsors as well. One of the great things I just found out this week is Scott and April, the owners of Kitchen Wise, Closet Wise, are out in Las Vegas at a franchise convention for the company that owns the name Kitchen Wise, Closet Wise, and they were voted the #1 franchise of the year for Kitchen Wise, Closet Wise. What an incredible honor! It just speaks to volumes to Scott and April and the business that they run. They do a great job. Anyway, so yeah, storage place off of Marsh Bend Trail near the duplexes. You know, seems like an incredible waste of good place or of good real estate, especially that location. But you know, hey, their business model must support it. One of the other things that's going over there is a Catholic church. They won't have, unfortunately, I guess they requested access via golf cart to the villages, and they were turned down. So there you go. You guys didn't see this. It says, did I offend you with my common sense? Great coffee mug. I found it. I had to buy it. It goes with about 100 other coffee cups I got. I don't think we got rid of about 100 a couple of years ago when we cleaned house. Anyway, appreciate so okay. Pam Young wants to know, Don, are the villages moving towards a once-a-week watering? I don't know. I've been looking on, when I saw your comment come up a little while ago, I jumped on the village's website, the districtgov.org website, looking for some sort of information. Something like that would be put out there. Nothing. So I haven't heard anything. Check your water bill. That's going to be the best thing I can tell you. I haven't looked at mine. So when I get it, I'll look at it. Let's see. Any news on Eastport Grocery Store? That's from John in Maine. No. I haven't heard anything. I keep looking. I can't find anything. And as I said last week, I'm not going to stick my neck out anymore. I made a fool out of myself last year when I said that Publix was going in at Eastport. I wasn't too far wrong. It's going in Middleton, but oops, I don't want to do that again. So, all right. So we got 74 people on right now. Okay, outstanding. Welcome everyone. Let's see. Did it start? Yeah, okay. And this is from Sam Propane. He says, it looks like they replaced all the roundabout trees. They removed the new ones, look nice. We just need to keep the blind and drunks from trying to run into them. Yeah, again, I don't know what happened. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. A bunch of trees were taken down on the roundabout south of Warm Springs. I don't know why. It seemed really strange. You know, I could see one or two because of a car hitting it, but I mean, they did all of them on landstone. I think they did all of them also on Central Parkway. It was kind of strange. There you go. Caveman says, a few months ago, you showed a plan for development at Marsh Bend and County Route 470. Is there anything new on that, or did it go away? So it hasn't gone away. The development process is a lengthy one, sometimes a year or two ahead of time. Where I get a lot of my information from is from the Southwest Florida Water Management District. In the state, you don't put a shovel in the ground until you get approved by the Water Management District. And that's the thing. I mean, the villages normally their initial permitting is 2 to 3 years ahead of actual construction of homes. It takes a while. It's a lengthy process, and it's just one of many approvals they have to get. Utility Commission, Water Management District. The list goes on and on, folks. It's just simply amazing what you got to do to build these days. You just can't buy a piece of land and start building a house. It just doesn't work that way. But no, it's still on the books as far as I know. I reached out to the developer. I haven't heard any response from them. All right. Let's see. And the developer is not the villages on that one. Is it me, or did the villages plant more palm trees south of 44 and more deciduous trees north of 44? Now, they've planted a lot of palm trees up north. The deciduous trees, these are so you got conifers, which are like pines. You got the deciduous, which are the ones that lose their leaves every year, oaks and things like that. When we moved here 12 years ago, Buena Vista, south of 466A, and all they had was saplings on it. Now there's big, beautiful oaks there. It just takes time. We had a magnolia in our front yard, and we moved it to the backyard when we got a palm tree put in the front. But the magnolia, it was just a little spindly thing. Now it's huge. And the palm, the palm fronds came up to about right here on me when we put it in. And when we sold the house, the palm fronds started on the trunk above the peak of the garage. It was crazy how fast it grew. And it was a Sylvester palm. And if you don't know anything about Sylvesters, they have these thorns on them. They're about 3 inches long. Do not ever run over a palm frond. Trust me, that's a $200 mistake that I made. I ran over one in my front, it was laying in the street, and I pulled in next to the house, ran over the palm frond, didn't think anything of it. Came out an hour later, flat tire. And, I was like, what the heck? Then I looked, and you could see a piece of the palm frond sticking out. It just penetrated the tire. It was unbelievable. So BV Bum says, moving to a Hudson with a 1-bedroom with one bedroom with a large window in the front of the house, would there be enough airflow through the house opening lanai doors as well as the front window without getting a screen? Yes. I mean, you're going to get a lot of airflow. Open it up, and you should get plenty of airflow. Personally, I like the screened front porch, but for me, it's because I have 2 dogs, and we put them we put the screened front porch in both houses, both the courtyard villa and the veranda down in Moultrie Creek, because we didn't want the dogs bolting out and running in the street if somebody came to the door. But it is nice. Open up, Florida's beautiful. We're going to get into March, and the weather's going to get nice and pleasant, and all the we're going to open up all the doors and windows in the house, turn off the air conditioning, and enjoy that for 2 or 3 months, just like we did in the fall, because we can, because it's Florida. Although you wouldn't think it, the way the weather's been this last week. Holy mackerel, has it been cold. So yeah, opening the front window, you'll probably get enough air. You may want more. Don't just do the front, do the side windows as well. Open all that you can. Yeah, okay. So here's where the ID10T error was identified. Blame Google. No, Mark, I can't blame Google. All right. Wouldn't the old Magnolia golf cart store make a good location for Village's Ace Hardware? What's the process to get that done? To get this done? Well, Morgan, that's a great idea. You could put a Ace Hardware probably in Magnolia Plaza right there. Does sound like a good idea. Go get a franchise and do it. That's the thing. They offer the shell space, and it's up to the tenants to decide to move there. And that's just the reality of it. I mean, they can't force anybody to open up a store here. They can make the properties available, which they do, and yeah. So to make it happen, go talk to your banker. That's the best I can tell you. Sorry. Any idea when we'll see water activity on Central Lake? I thought they were already doing it. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they're already doing some kayaking. I will talk to a friend of mine who works over at, what's the name of it? Olympia, Olympia Rec Center, and see what he can tell me. I normally see him in the mornings when I take my dogs over there. Don, your live stream is competing with the Puppy Bowl. Now that's just unacceptable. I'm sorry, folks, we're going to have to end the broadcast now. We can't interfere with the Puppy Bowl because we know that that's much more important than the Super Bowl, which is this evening, of course. If you care, I mean, it's New England and Seattle. I got nothing for either team. But I do have some questions for you today. We'll see where things sit here in a few minutes as I try and get caught up on the list that I dutifully ignored when I hit the go live button and it didn't go live. All right. Any idea when they'll start building a Catholic church? No, I don't. Doing that is, like I said, with any other development, it's a lengthy process. And, I got a friend of mine who was involved with that. I will talk to Mark and see what he can tell me. Mark, if you're on the live stream like you normally are, chime in and let us know what you think. All right. What is the area? Okay, this is from To Somewhere in the Sun. What is the area just south of McClure on Marsh Bend Trail? Is it Villages owned? No, actually, that's what we're talking about with the Catholic Church, and now the comment was made about a storage place, and of course there's Eden at Magnolia at Eden or something like that. That's a bunch of rental properties. Um, you know, that was 40 acres that the original owner didn't want to sell the villages. And then, so the villages just built around it because that's what they do. I mean, they make you a decent offer, and if you want to play games, they walk away. They don't need it. That's why the villages sometimes have some weird shit cutouts. But they tried later on to really push the issue, and I guess the villagers dutifully ignored them. But anyway, Victoria says, great 164, great 164 episode. We'll talk about that shortly. What a challenge that one turned out to be last night. Let's see. I noticed land is being cleared at the end of Lake Deaton Plaza. Any idea what's going in? Yes, I do. And no, I don't remember. Gosh, what was it? I'm drawing a blank. I apologize. I know that there's something going in there. I just don't remember what it is. If I think about it when we go on the break at the halfway point, I'll see if I can't find it real quick. Yes, please like and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Oh, John, come on now. A checklist? I made a mental checklist, and I went through everything. I mean, I checked microphones, I checked cameras, I checked everything. I test ran all the scripts that run the ads and things like that. Everything was great. And I hit go live, and it just didn't go live. All right. Seriously, I was surprised to hear in your latest video about the area started by the developer not contiguous with and southwest of Middleton. About another area. Okay. What's the name of that called? It's called Buffalo something. Buffalo Springs. Yeah. My understanding is it's, if you know what Glen Hollow is, then you'll know who's going to be moving there. Yeah. Sorry. The mind is racing, and it's running in it's running in circles. All right. So Buffalo Springs is some rather large parcels of property. I think there's like 25 of them. And my understanding is possibly for family members. All right. Construction question. What kind of waterproof membrane do they use under the tile in the Roman shower? They don't. Okay. That is actually part of the foundation. When they pour the foundation, they have, that is just part of what is sculpted into it. One of the things they do is they use a type of cement later on to grade it so that, it's got the proper slope for the tile in that, but there is no membrane. It's just concrete. Go Buck says, I see finally started construction of the Lutheran Church on Megason north of Warm Springs. They have. I have not been down that. I normally go down Warm Springs. I don't go down Megason. Yep. Craig says they lay thin set, then lay the tile. I don't think it's thin set. They do have to lay thin set before they lay the tile, but they do another type of concrete in there to grade the concrete so that everything drains properly. Hope Lutheran Church has been scheduled to go there for several years now. And again, just like we were talking earlier, these developments take time. All right, so Super Bowl. I got some questions for you about the Super Bowl. Let me see if I can bring up the PowerPoint. PowerPoint went down. Hey, there we go. So I got some questions for you. You ready for this, folks? So let's try this about the Super Bowl. Are you watching the Super Bowl today? So let me know what your answers are to this. Is it A, yes, wouldn't miss it. B, no, it's a waste of time, my team isn't in it. No, I hate both teams. Or D, what's a Super Bowl? Oh, let me know what you think. A, B, C, D, E. Gotta have a little fun, right? All right. Let's try the next question. Who is your favorite team? Is it New England? Oh, Craig the Sailor says D. What's a Super Bowl? All right. So who's your favorite team? Is it New England, A? B, Seattle? D, any team that can kick New England's butt? That's kind of my favorite. And of course, Manchester United, a real football team. All right. Some would argue that we call it football, but we play it with our hands, and I don't know. Anyway, let's see. What's next? What's the best part of the Super Bowl? All right. Is it the game? Is it the commercials? Could it be the halftime show? The food and the snacks? Yeah, maybe. Kind of mine. And of course, the last one is when the stupid game is finally over. All right. Let's see if we got another question. Oh, yeah. Which halftime show will you watch? The NFL halftime show. How about B, the Turning Point USA halftime show? Neither. I'll be on a beer run or cooking. That's probably going to be mine. And my favorite is I'm not watching. I'll be doing something useful like binging reruns of The Price is Right. Okay, sorry, I'm having a little fun here today. From Indiana, legally required to hate the Patriots. Okay, good answer, Todd. All right. What's your favorite Super Bowl snack? Is it chicken wings? My favorite. How about chips and dip? Another good one. Uh-oh, what's this? Go Pats. All right, sorry. Not going to get a lot of support there. Let's see. Finger foods. So basically wings, chips and dips, and just about anything else. And of course, there is also, I only eat healthy snacks like carrots and tofu. Yeah, right. Give me a break. I'm not sure what tofu is. It sounds like tofu. It doesn't sound good at all. All right. What's the most exciting plays to watch? Passing plays? How about B, rushing plays or running plays? C, defensive plays. And D, football is played with a round ball, not some weird pointed ball. I have a friend who's big into soccer. We had a discussion this past week, and some of these answers were his responses to our discussion. All right, what's next? If you're not watching the game, what will you be doing? Will you be playing golf? Possibly. Watching a movie? Reading a book? Or how about anything short of going to my own funeral is better than watching that stupid game? So, right. Let's see. I'm getting bored just thinking about it, says Craig the Sailor. All right, Craig. I love your answer there. All right. Okay. That's all my questions. We'll go back. I had to have a little fun with that, folks. Okay. We got a lot of answers. Let's see. I just realized the first Monday I don't have to go to work the day after Super Bowl. Sam, that's a good thing. I am a firm believer that work is highly overrated. All right. So if you hadn't know, what's this? Anything short of going to my own funeral? Yeah. My friend is a soccer fan and, a football fan. Yeah, whatever. Anyway. I gotta have my coffee. Let's see. 164 came out last night, and it somehow got screwed up with the sound, so I re-released it this morning. Folks, I had troubles with my software again. I broke a cardinal rule I learned years ago, and that was in the middle of a project, never install any software updates. And that's what I did. I got all the video footage done. I installed an update because it came in just before I started doing the voiceovers, and the machine stopped working. Well, it was working, but I couldn't see the video footage as I'm doing the voiceovers, because that's what I do. I watch the footage and I do the voiceovers, and then I go back and edit them. I could do the voiceover, I could edit it, but I just couldn't see what I was talking about. After a day of racking my head and doing some searches online, somebody says, well, go back to an older version. And I was like, well, how the hell do you do that? Found out, backed it up, done. Anyway, finished up late last night, uploaded it, and of course there was problems, so I fixed it, and it's up a little over 4,000 views already this morning. Very happy with the response. It's a little long, but if you're not a golf fan, you can stop about halfway, okay? Because the last part of it is really, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, I showed you the flyover of the, which golf courses? Beautyberry and Honeysuckle golf courses. That sped up. Instead of being 30 minutes long, it was about 7 or 8 minutes long. But that was in there. I did Timberland and the Lakes golf course, and I did the area where Meadowview is going in. Lots of good stuff. Of course, the big thing I found out, I had to do a quick edit yesterday morning. Actually, it was Friday night. I was looking at something, and I found out Chick-fil-A is coming to 466A. There's a double lot. It's basically right across from Twisty Treats, how long it'll take a year or so before they build it, actually. But so Chick-fil-A is coming. Very good thing, in my opinion. I love the food. My wife, when we lived in Memphis, used to work at a Chick-fil-A. The owner was one of the nicest people I ever met in my life. Yeah, I found out about that on Friday night. So after I got done playing golf on Saturday, I had the drone in the truck, did a quick flight, and that's where that footage came from. So that was hot off the presses. Anyway, let's see. Let's see. First release was good. Second was great. Yeah, the first release, like I said, had sound problems, and it was very annoying because I thought I checked it, and well, in my master, I looked at it this morning after I got the other one up. The master is fine. It was something on YouTube that happened. I'm not sure, but the second upload much better, and all was good. All right. This is from Craig the Sailor. Says, "Hey Don, any idea what's going to actually be? When they are going? All right. We will get this out with a new tongue yet. Any idea when they are going to actually begin building Coleman Ridge, and will it actually be considered a village's community?" So it is being built by the developer, the village of the villages, if you will, the villages of Lake-Sumter. And when is it going to start? It's been on hold for a while. I don't know the real reason why. They've got all the roads in. They've got the underground utilities in. It's just a matter of starting. It's supposed to be a lower income property. Part of the concession, well, the concessions that the county made to get that designated lower income was on the drainage system. If you go into a veranda community, courtyard villa community, or a patio villa community, you'll see that there are drains in the middle of the street and not on the sides of the street. It's cheaper to do it that way, which helps save cost. You can get away with it easily in a veranda or courtyard villa community or patio villa community because there's not a lot of traffic. It's not as critical keeping the drainage. If there's a little bit of standing water, it's not a big deal. So the crown is an inverted crown, so it's lower in the middle. Normally a street is higher in the middle. So, but it's a way of saving money. And if you watch the video, when I flew over the area by Corbin Trail, I mentioned that they were putting in the deep utilities and it was going to be a designer community, and I said that because there was drainage pipes along both sides of the road. Anyway, no idea when it's going to start though. I know that they're wanting to do it though. You should hire a 14-year-old to handle your software and technology. Ow! Really? We got to go there? All right. All right. Will Chick-fil-A be golf cart accessible? No, it will not. Nothing on that side that is golf cart accessible. That's where Target is at. Jeepers. What else is over there? Target, Outback Steakhouse, ABC Liquor, all those, they're not golf cart accessible and they won't be. Let's see, Chick-fil-A will generate more traffic than Walmart. John, I will say you're probably not too far off base. I remember, when Debbie worked at Chick-fil-A, the drive-through wrapped all the way around the building, sometimes twice. And what the amazing part is they were so efficient at that Chick-fil-A. They would get like 30 seconds, and they would move cars. It was unbelievable. I mean, you'd pull up, your food was ready, you pay the money, you're gone. And this was back in the day when not everybody used a credit card. Video was super informative. Thank you, Craig. John, I totally agree. Okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you. I know you were probably stressed out. You said the sinkhole was in Water's Edge instead of Well Point. Roxy, you're right. I wasn't stressed out, but, the brain just gets in gear. And the funny part is, I checked it for errors and I had to edit it because after I do my voiceovers, I go back and I edit them. So the little pauses, sometimes you stutter or you say something wrong or that, and I go and edit it all out. The guy from the Liberty Mutual commercials who can't get his lines right, libbity bibbity, he was my mentor. Okay. He is the master, and I am just terrible at it. But I'm a good editor, or a reasonably good editor. But yes, that sinkhole is in Water's Edge. Any idea when the new Walmart is set to open? The last I've heard is early March. Driving by it, and I actually drove into the parking lot and drove around and left. Looks like they've got all the shelving up, and they're starting to stock shelves. Same thing in the gas station. And if you go by there during the day, man, there must be 50, 75 cars in the parking lot. Obviously, they're training employees and things like that. It takes a lot, though, to stock a Walmart. There was a new 1 day a week watering schedule in the Sun. Really, Jim? I haven't been able to keep up with the newspaper. I read it this morning after I got the dogs back from the dog park, and I mean, obviously there wasn't anything in there today. Many of this past week's newspapers they made it into the garbage, still in the plastic bag. I just didn't have time to read it because I've been, well, one, I spent so many hours working on 164. It was a headache. Let's see. All right, you know what? We got to pay the piper, so let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Thanks for sticking with today's broadcast of Gold Wingnut Live. Pardon me for just a minute while I go grab a fresh cup of coffee and stretch my legs and back. While you're waiting, let me ask you a quick question. Are you building a new home in the Villages and need someone with a trained eye to watch the construction for you and send you regular updates? Then contact me through my website, goldwingnut.com, and arrange for a photo-video package of your new home. I've nearly 20 years experience as a construction project manager, and I've been offering this valuable service to residents for over 6 years. I know the work the various trades are doing, and I know when the work is being done right and when it's not. Fortunately, serious issues are rare, but even the most minor issues are better caught during construction than during closing. I'm not just taking pictures of your home like others do. I'm watching your home being built with a trained eye to ensure everything is done right. So go to goldwingnut.com and arrange for your package today. Now let's get back to the broadcast.
So we all know when people move into their homes, especially in Florida, we're limited for storage space. So what we do is we come in and help create storage space by maximizing what is currently available in their kitchens and their closets and other rooms. So a few of the things that we really pride ourselves on is communication with the customer, and our attention to detail is second to none. If you're looking to transform your kitchen, closet, or any other space in your home, give us a call or check out our website to book an appointment.
All right, we are back. Sorry about that. No, I'm not. I mean, you know, Scott does a great job with his products, and obviously, if you use one of my sponsors, let them know that you saw it either in my broadcast, the Gold Wingnut Live broadcast, or on the YouTube videos. They like to hear that feedback. They want to know that their advertising dollars are going to good use. All right, so Greg R. says, did you get any footage of the back side of Walmart? I heard it might have drone delivery, and wondering if there was any infrastructure that looked to support that. I have footage of it. There's nothing that supports that. You know, the whole drone delivery thing, it sounds great, but honestly, there are a lot of obstacles dealing with it. The biggest obstacle is the actual final delivery of the product, because they're flying under part, I think it's part 135. I fly under part 107 of the Code of Federal Regulations, part 14, or Title 14 of the Code of Federal Regulations. If they land that aircraft, they have to have a pilot there to do pre-flight checks before they can take off again, which is, you know, kind of defeats the purpose of that, you know, drone delivery. So drone delivery is, I think we're still quite a ways away from doing it, unless the FAA comes off their horse you know, it's going to be a while. All right. But yeah, I have, like I said, I have footage on the backside. You know, it's like taking footage of the backside of Mount Rushmore. Yeah, there's nothing there. Unless, of course, you read Mad Magazine, then you see them. Never mind. I am showing my age when I start talking about Mad Magazine. I remember there was one where you saw them all sitting on their knees with their heads sticking out. But anyway, let's see. Terry wants to know, I know the next championship being built is the Meadows. Could you share the name of the next championship course to be developed? According to Kenny Izell, in a recent video put out by the villages, that would be the Palms. And I believe it is where I showed you in the video in 164, where they're putting the cell phone tower. That area there's a driving range and a new championship course. It's a 27-hole championship course. That would be where it would be going. It's still obviously a ways away. They've got a lot of land they're developing, so it'll be interesting to see which way things go. Interestingly, I'm seeing activity now in the old Secret Promise area. Secret Promise is over in Lake County, so if you look where Fire Station 49 is, and there's some high tension lines there. If you go to the east side of that, there's a big triangular section. That is where the old Secret Promise property is. We'll see. It's one of those things I just got to keep track of. From what I've seen, they don't land. You're right, they don't land, but they lower the package on a tether and then release it and fly away. And, you know, therein lies the problem. You know, that whole tether process, it works, but it's got to be able to break away, both at the package end and at the aircraft end. In case it gets bound up, you don't want to bring the aircraft down. Some of these drone delivery aircraft, the one that UPS was using when they were working with CVS, the case for it was the back end of an SUV. That's how big it was. Their props were, 14 inches across. The size of their props was as big as the size of my drones that I was flying. What's going on with this thing? Blew it up. I don't know. Okay, yeah. I mean, their props are just huge. And the thing weighs like 10, 15 pounds. So if it comes down, it's a big problem. Let's see. Brian, let's try. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my camera there. It's too close into me. Brian says, Southwest Florida Water Management District has a website dealing with water restrictions once a week based on house address, maps, etc. Okay, yeah, I haven't looked at that particular page of SwiftMud, their website. I think we need to bend what's this? I think we need to bend the golf developer's ear. We need to have chipping greens at the driving ranges, more grass to grass, less AstroTurf. Okay, interesting. Yep. Are they going to expand to all right, Tammy. Tammy wants to know, are they going to expand 470 to 4 lanes towards 27? So that's in Lake County. I have not heard anything about that. I'm also on what's called the MPO, the Metropolitan Planning Organization for Lake and Sumter County. And the MPO deals with road widening, new roads and things like that. our main job is trying to get funding for these big projects. 301 was one of those projects, and it has not been discussed. We hadn't even discussed the widening of 470 from Middleton over to US 301. That was it was in the county's agenda, but it wasn't something that we thought we could afford. The developer has stepped up to the plate, and they've offered to help us with the financing of it, basically 15 years without any interest. And you don't find that kind of cooperation anywhere. Imagine if you got your house for 15 years with no interest. It's like holy mackerel. Yeah, it was good. It was a good deal. Jim says Walmart has drone delivery here in Texas. Works great. Okay, that's cool. Victoria, thank you for your donation. And for whatever reason, her comments don't show up when she makes a donation. It's kind of a weird thing. She says, thanks for all your hard work. I was wondering what there is more of, residential land or golf course land? I'm pretty sure it's residential. Yeah, it's definitely residential. I mean, especially if you look at like where Marsh Bend and DeLuna are. There's a pitch and putt, and there is one executive course and a whole lot of houses. So I think it's definitely residential. All right. What else did I have on my list here? Oh yeah, I had a comment this morning. Lady asked why they don't build a lot more sports pools. And sports pools are always part of a regional recreation center. Excuse me. There's obviously Olympia is a regional recreation center. Everglades, Azell, Rohan, Eisenhower, all the big rec centers. That's where they put the sports pools. And that takes a little more staffing, and it takes a lot more work to maintain and set up the pool for changes for the different sporting activities like water volleyball, lap swimming, things like that. And it obviously takes more land because it's a much larger pool than what is used at the village recreation centers or the neighborhood recreation centers. So that's the only place they build sports pools. Obviously, Olympia has one. They're building another regional recreation center down in around CDD 16 at the southeast corner of CDD 16, where Marsh Bend Trail and McNeil meet. That was in 164. But that's why it's there. All right. Is the new land 55 plus designated? Somewhere in time, which land are we talking about? Yeah, I'm not sure which land you're talking about, but I will tell you that from my understanding, when you go south of Bexley Trail, okay, on the south side of Bexley Trail, all that is age restricted, 55 plus. North of Bexley Trail and west of Landstone, that's part of Middleton, the family community. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's the only, right now, the only non-age restricted areas that there are in the, we'll call it the villages proper. Obviously we got Coleman Ridge, that's kind of separated, but in the contiguous area of the villages, yeah, it's pretty much all 55 plus. Megan wants to know, any idea where in Long Prairie the new Street of Dreams is being built? The north part of Long Prairie or the south part of Long Prairie? It's going to probably be the south part, to be honest with you. My understanding is they're looking at shutting down the other Street of Dreams sometime by summertime and moving over to the new Street of Dreams in Long Prairie, which is going to be at the south end. When you get north of the starter shack for Beautyberry and Honeysuckle, it's still heavily under construction. The area south of there, along Marsh Bend Trail, that's all ready for houses. I suspect sometime late next month we'll see those come up on the market. Since Olympia Rec, okay, this is from Somewhere in the Sun. Since Olympia Rec Center is in Eastport, will it be turned over, say, like a Zell, or will it be developer owned? Historically, eventually they will sell it. I don't think they're going to keep it. Their business is not maintaining recreation centers. It's building them to support the homes that they want to sell. They run them just like they run the water utilities and the sewage utilities as a matter of necessity. If you look north of 44, they built all the water plants, the water plants, the wells, sewage treatment, everything. They built all that, but they've sold it over to Inscud. That's the North Sumter Utility Dependent District. It is, we'll call it a necessary evil.
It's 16 hours.
Yeah. It just, yeah, they'll eventually sell it. Yeah, Azelle presents itself some interesting questions, specifically things like parking lot maintenance. Who pays for the parking lot maintenance? Is it divided by that one, the road that where the traffic circles are at? I don't know. I haven't looked into that. About the time that was all happening, I was busy working on becoming part of the county administration instead of the CDD administration. All right, so we talked about the sports pools. I went to go see Bill Engvall this past Wednesday. Great, funny guy. He was right on target with his audience. He started talking about pickleball and injuries, and yeah, he knew his audience big time. All right, so all right, let's see. Okay, this is from Sam Propane. It looks like more pre-built walls in Long Prairie that seem to be good for what people are looking for, also cheaper to build than block. So they've pretty much gone away from block homes, CMU houses. The actual material to build the CMU or the precast walls is a little bit more expensive than using block, but where they save money is in labor, because it only takes 5 people normally about 6 hours to assemble all the Lego pieces to build a house, whereas it takes 20 to 25 block masons 2 to 2.5 days to set all the block to build a house. So that's been one of the big drivers, is manpower. Cutting down on the sheer number of manpower that they need to build the houses. And I got that information from Terry Yoder, who owns, he is the patriarch for the T&D family of companies. He shared that with me a few years ago. It was an interesting thing that he shared, and as I've been taking pictures of homes over the last 6 or 7 years, one of the things I have noticed is it takes the same amount of time it takes about 5 days to go from foundation to trusses. So from a bare foundation to putting trusses on the top of the walls is about 5 days, no matter what the construction type is. Walls, not homes. Oh, okay. So, yeah, the walls kind of look a little strange. The walls are there for courtyard villas and veranda homes. Verandas are extremely popular because of the two P's, pets and privacy. And that's what people like, the enclosed backyards. That's what used to drive courtyard villa home sales. But there's still a lot of lots that are going to be up for sale. So I wouldn't sweat it too much. Let's see. How will all the damaged landscaping affect homeowners? Oh, Megan, you just took away your content. Okay, your comment. Where are we at on time? Okay, we're at 4 o'clock. We still got a few more minutes that we can go. But let's see. You know what I found out this morning? I was driving back from Sophie Doodles with Sully and Lily in the back end of or in the back seat of the truck. They don't sit in the back end. They do make a big mess. But anyway, I'm listening to the radio, and what's her name? Lindsey Vaughn got into a skiing accident. I found out the Olympics started already. I knew they were coming up, but honestly, I hadn't been following it. I guess they had the opening ceremonies Friday or Saturday. Wow. I felt a little out of touch. All right. Okay, so here we go. Megan's got her comment back. How will all the damaged landscaping from the freeze? So, yeah, you know, the plants bounce back. Okay, I've been here almost 20 years in Florida, and I've watched it freeze many times. And really, you go out, you trim off all the dead branches and all the dead leaves, and come March, the sun comes out, things start to warm up, and everything sprouts, and you get, beautiful plants once again. So there you go. Any special assessments or anything to replace the damaged trees, etc. Seems like a lot of people had damage. So special assessments would be by the CDD, and they have reserve assets that they can tap into to replace any of the damaged plants that they might have to replace. But it's up to the homeowners, the residents, to replace the landscaping in their own property. And Terry says Lakeview is going to be inundated with traffic from Marsh Bend Trail to Eastport, both the dead end branches. Yep, I mentioned that in 164. I saw it, and it was like, oh my gosh. Now, right now, they have a gate still up at the Marsh Bend end, but I am sure that once they start construction, that gate's coming down, and it's going to be a lot of traffic. And you're right, it's going to be both autos and cars. So we talked about the Olympics. Talked about the sinkhole over there. When I flew it and I looked down in the hole, I guess I was about 60 feet in the air when I zoomed in. The new drone has got a really good camera. But you could see water, you could see debris in there. So it stopped draining, I guess, for the most part. So now they just got to fill it and reinforce the ground, and they'll put a new bladder down, and they'll refill the pond. It's not the only pond. There's one this happens up at Alhambra, at the village of Alhambra. They've had a problem for years. and also on, I believe it's the Churchill Executive Course. They have a retention pond that has drained several times. It's just where we live. It's a big limestone peninsula. It's going to happen. So one of the last things I have, there was a comment on Villages-News from a lady who she complained about the retention pond levels and how they weren't as dry down at the south end as they were up in the north end, and she made a few comments that inferred, well, it's just so they can sell houses. No, she's living in an area that's 25 years old. Things have changed. The technology changes, the practices, things like that. It's a different system farther north than it is in the south. One of the things, too, that you'll notice is in the southern end of the villages, the retention ponds are much larger. They're able to hold more water, and it costs less to build. Less infrastructure is required, and it takes a lot because they hold more water. It's going to take a lot more to make them go dry. You get some of these small retention ponds. I mean, up in Hillsborough, there's a couple of small retention ponds that, man, the levels used to go up and down like a yo-yo. So the retention pond systems are not connected. Okay, so if you look at, for example, the retention ponds on the south side of Central Parkway are not connected to the retention ponds on the north side of Central Parkway, and the same thing for Bexley Trail on the left and right. Even when you get south of Monarch Grove, the retention pond and stormwater systems aren't connected to the ones in Monarch Grove. They're all smaller systems. Well, I don't want to call them smaller. They're large systems, but they're separate. The only place I know that they cross a major road is over there in CDD 10 and 8. There's some connection under 466A, but that's a rarity. Yeah. Okay. So Victoria says, the cold weather you're experiencing there in the village, is that normal? No, it's not normal. I mean, we do every year get a couple of really cold days. This has just been colder and a little longer than what we normally see, but it's we always get a couple of days where it's around 30 degrees, somewhere like that. It has been a long time since I've seen it drop in the 20s like it did. Not a big deal. Muskie says, hi Victoria, take our complaints about the cold weather with a grain of salt. Us Floridians think it's cold if you go to the pool and the outside temperature is in the 70s. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Let's see. We talked about the droughts. Oh yeah, I had another comment. One of my regulars who makes a lot of comments on my videos made a comment about the bonds in CDD 16 being over $60,000. Oh my gosh. Travel to PA, 16 degrees now, 7 or 8 tonight. Okay, so Craig says the bond schedule on 8 units in CDD 16 have been released. 2 of these are fairly high, looking like the lots are too large. Okay, so I think Craig, this was your comments. So I did look at the. Sorry, my brain is all over the place. Something shiny, something pops up on the screen. I get squirrel. Anyway, So CDD 16, the average bond is in the 40s. Okay, they go as low as 24 and as high as 61.8. There's only like 3 units that are above 60. I looked at those. I looked at some of the sites. They're 65 to 75 feet across, and which is consistent with designer homes. But some of them are very deep, very long. So that makes bigger lots. You get bigger lots. You get less lots per acre. Therefore, you're paying the bond is based on the per acre price, and everything continues to go up. And if you don't believe me, just think back the last time you bought a car. Try and buy that same car today, and it's $10,000-$15,000 probably more expensive than if you paid for it 6 or 7 years ago. So just the nature of the beast. They keep saying, well, we got to raise the minimum wage. You raise the minimum wage, the cost of everything goes up. It's got to be paid, and it's going to be paid by the consumer. Craig wants to know, could they be exclusive premier neighborhoods? No, I don't see it, Craig. And the reason I say that is because of the frontage size. Okay, how much frontage is on the roadways for the lots? Typically, for a premier home, the lots are 75, 80, 85, 90 feet in width. For a designer home, it's normally around 60 to 65. Some as little as 50. And I'm not seeing those big lots. They stood out like a sore thumb when you looked at the Enclave. When I came out and said that they were building premier homes in the Enclave, what was that 3.5 years ago? When 184 was coming online. And that was because of the sheer size of the frontage and the lot size. So these lots are just right at 1/4 acre on these 3 largest ones. It's not going to be premier homes. Now, there are some that will definitely take a premier home. I actually saw, I think, 12 degrees. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I saw, I think, 2 or 3 that might take a grand view. And a grand view is a very large home, very wide home. So it takes a very special lot to house that or to contain that. But there are not a lot of them. Let's see, what else we got? We talked about the bonds. The bonds have been going up, and this is CDD 16, their bonds. What do you see CDD 17's bonds? They're going to be even higher. They're going to have an average price in the 50s. Just because things keep going up. The bond on my first house 12 years ago was $13,000. Now, typical bond on a courtyard villa is about $25,000. So it's more than doubled in 12 years. Well, it's basically doubled in 12 years. It's the way it is. All right, folks, where are we at? We are at 4:15. Anybody got any more questions? We still have 96 people on board. Thanks, folks, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I try and give you good information. When you have questions, I try and find out the answers. I don't always find them out. Sometimes the answers just aren't there. But when I do, I like to share the information. Craig says, I'm not complaining, totally expected, just curious on your thoughts. The premier homes are a very special product. okay? Especially the larger ones like the St. John, the Grandview, and some of the other large homes that, they were 3,000 plus square feet on some of them. It's a relatively small market. If you look at the percentage, less than 5% of the homes in the villages are premier homes. About 25% of the homes are villas, and the remainder, I think another, 10, 15%, I believe is what I looked at. I ran the numbers a few years back, were cottage homes, but the majority of them are designer homes. And now you lump into designer homes veranda homes, because a veranda is just a designer home with a fenced-in yard. Let's see. Yeah. But they've got to go. I will say this: the developer understands their market better than most I have ever seen. Prime example is Courtyard Villa Homes. When they started out, the original set of Courtyard Villas was called Courtyard Villas, and it's up there by Spanish Springs. And you drive through there, and it's like 2 or 3 floor plans, and every house looks the same. Every house looks the same. As you move farther south, you see changes in the Courtyard Villa plans and in communities, more colors. When you got south of 466A, they started stretching Courtyard Villas, and they started putting 2-car garages on them. Didn't see any golf cart garages back, 12 years ago. When I say south of 466A, also Hacienda at Mission Hills, that's part of CDD 9. That was being built the same time CDD 9 was, which was south of 466A. The exterior finishes were much more elegant, much prettier. But, the other things that they learned, you'll notice that when you get down south of 460 or south of 44, with a few exceptions, Courtyard Villas no longer have the curved driveways. They have the straight-in driveways. They have also moved the laundry rooms, because the laundry rooms, with the exception of 2 or 3 floor plans, were always in the garage. Now they're in the house. So they learn, and they change things based on the feedback they get from their customers. All right. They build or are building quite a few smaller premieres on golf course lots in 15. Yeah. They call them premieres, but they used to call it, I'm trying to think of, what was the name of them? They had designer homes at one time. They had a floor plan, and then they had a floor plan with the number 10 after it. Okay? I'm trying to remember, oh gosh. It escapes me. And the difference with the 10 was they had 10-foot ceilings instead of the 8-foot ceilings. Well, they're calling those 10s now premier homes, and they're giving them, they're dressing them up a little bit more, adding a little bit more to them. Yeah, the 10-foot walls are still available, but, they're standard on the premier homes. But, it's, in addition to, obviously, the walls, they add a little bit more, options, if you will, that becomes standard. All right, folks, it's 20 after. I think it's time to call it a day. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. As always, I'll remind you that life is short and power is fleeting. Physical beauty, it only lasts a very short while. And all of us that live long enough, we're going to become weak and vulnerable. So let's be humble. Help the sick, the weak, the vulnerable. Because one day, we too are going to exit. So let's do it with humility, dignity, honor, and the knowledge that through our actions, we've left this world a much better place to be. I'm Don Wiley. Have a great day. We'll see you all later.
So we all know when people move into their homes, especially in Florida, we're limited for storage space. So what we do is we come in and help create storage space by maximizing what is currently available in their kitchens and their closets and other rooms. So a few of the things that we really pride ourselves on is communication with the customer, and our attention to detail is second to none. If you're looking to transform your kitchen, closet, or any other space in your home, give us a call or check out our website to book an appointment.
Thanks for watching today's broadcast of Gold Wingnut Live. These weekly broadcasts and the construction update videos are two of the ways I bring information to you about the construction happening here in the villages. At Gold Wingnut Productions, I also provide a photo video service for new homes under construction. If you're building a new home in the villages and you need someone to watch the construction for you and send you regular updates, then contact me through my website, goldwingnut.com, and arrange for a photo video package of your new home. I've nearly 20 years in the construction industry as a project manager, and in the last 6 years, Gold Wingnut Productions has provided this valuable service to over 300 homeowners. I know the work the various trades are doing, and I know when the work is being done right and when it's not. I'm not just taking pictures like some do. I'm watching your new home build with a trained eye to help ensure everything is done right. So go to goldwingnut.com and arrange for your package today, and I'll see you next week right here at Gold Wingnut Live.
Dogs love sleeping in their owner's bed for 3 powerful reasons, and the last one says everything about your relationship. First, to your dog, you're not just a human. You're their safe place, their family, their whole world. Sleeping close to you gives them a deep sense of security. It's their way of saying, I love you, and I trust you completely. Second, dogs adore warmth. Your bed already cozy and warmed by their favorite person. To them, you're like a living blanket, comforting, soothing, and impossible to resist. And the third reason goes even further. Dogs have a natural instinct to protect their group. Even while sleeping, they stay slightly alert. By sleeping beside you, they feel like they're watching over you just as you watch over them. A dog will never sleep somewhere they don't feel safe. So if he chooses your bed or even uses your arm as a pillow, that's not random.
I got a question about this maintenance request you put in. You said you wanted it fixed and running. But do you want it fixed? Or do you want it running? Which one do you want? You don't get both, so choose one.
What do you mean pick one? No, I want it fixed, running, and safe. The employees, okay? So just figure it out.
Whoa, you can't throw safe in the mix too, okay? That's like the mechanic and maintenance holy trinity. Running, fixed, and safe. You can't get all three, and I'm gonna tell you right now, safe is not on the table right here. So, do you want it fixed or do you want it running? Alright, we can either fix it and it's going to be down for 6 months and it's going to cost about $400,000, or I can get it running in about 30 minutes for $12. What are you feeling? Because you got to pick one.
No, okay, I want it safe, fixed, and running. Okay, let me see these numbers you're talking about. 400,000. 412,000. You ramaged down. Safety is an important aspect of my life, but you said you can have it run in 30 minutes?
Yeah, I can probably have it fixed in 20 minutes, honestly, if I can just find the right size zip ties. I mean, that's really the only thing that's going to hold me back.
Okay, so it's either $400,000 or zip ties. Okay, it's great to know. That's great to know that our multi-million dollars worth of equipment here is being held together with zip ties. But we're going to circle back to this conversation. I just need to know, when you say safe isn't on the table and it's going to be unsafe, on a scale of 1 to 10, how unsafe would you say unsafe is when you say it? Is it going to be safe or not?
How unsafe is it going to be? Well, you know where it is out there on the floor, right?
Yeah, I know where it is out there on the floor. Why?
Well, because I'm going to gauge its safety by how fast you should probably walk past it. And I'm going to say you should probably walk past it very quickly. Okay, because the less time you spend near it, the higher your chances of survival are. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So have you chosen? Do you want it running, fixed? And regardless, it's not gonna be